Dynamic mic or condenser mic? And which one should you actually get for at-home recording?
If you listen to modern popular music, chances are you are most likely very used to the sound of a condenser mic being used in professional studios, especially for vocal recording. Condenser mics are very sensitive. They usually have a pretty clear, transparent, natural sound, and they pick up a lot of details. They are especially good for very quiet, subtle sounds, like quiet singing parts. Let's talk about the cons though. Because these microphones are so sensitive and they pick up every little sound, they will also pick up all of the sounds that surround you. So if you live on a loud street, or you have loud neighbors, or a loud roommate, maybe this is not the microphone you should necessarily get. So condenser mics should really only be used in quiet, isolated spaces, preferably also acoustically treated spaces. Dynamic microphones like this one mostly only pick up the sound that is directly in front of it and very close to it. That's why these are used for live settings. So you might still have the bleed of a band on here, but it would be way less than with a condenser microphone. Dynamic mics are not nearly as detailed as condenser microphones. They do not pick up all the little subtleties, but maybe that is a wanted effect, because in a way, a dynamic microphone signal almost sounds like it's already compressed a little bit. Because you have to be very close to a dynamic microphone in order to use it, there is something called the proximity effect that happens. Basically, the low mids and low end of your audio signal actually gets boosted, so it can make your voice sound really rich and thick. This effect can also be achieved with a condenser microphone though. Dynamic microphones are also known to be super durable. So a classic SM58, like the one I have in my hand right now, actually gets used on stage all the time, gets dropped, gets thrown around, and it still won't break. Condenser microphones, on the other hand, are very sensitive. They have very sensitive diaphragms that are prone to damage by humidity or dust getting onto the diaphragm. So you really have to take care of these. But when to use which one of these? A condenser mic is great for quieter, very detailed sounds. A lot of people like to use it for vocals, so you can really get all of those subtleties in an artist's vocal performance. Condenser mics should not be used for very loud sounds, because actually loud sound pressure levels can damage a condenser microphone, because as I said earlier, the diaphragm on these is very sensitive. Now dynamic microphones, on the other hand, can handle just about anything. They can handle super loud sound pressure levels. So very loud sounds like bass drums or shotgun sounds should only be recorded with dynamic microphones. Since condenser mics are so sensitive, they should only be used in isolated spaces. A dynamic microphone can kind of be used anywhere.